Hello, my beautiful friends. How is everybody doing today? I am so excited to be back again, but I do have some news to tell you, and I'll get into that in the video. But right now, I am super excited to finally be trying out some of these products that are in this Ulta bag. I went to Ulta because I wanted to get some more of the Morphe products because they have been really impressing me lately. And if you want to see those products in action, please continue watching because we're about to get into all that right now. So, like I mentioned, I have been really enjoying everything I've been trying from Morphe, and I don't know if their formula has changed now that they have new owners, I believe. I don't know. I think everybody had like a bad taste in their mouth, and I think they are redeeming themselves quite a bit. So, yeah, we see you, Morphe. I think they're going to be coming from behind the scenes again and creeping in and coming out with some major, really good products. But hopefully they don't fall into that pattern that they had before where they were just kind of the influencers were just being, they were bombarding us with all the codes. It just gave us that bad vibe. But now I just hope that they just, have a few things that come out and then we're going to be talking about it and you guys are going to be seeing how great these products are because I've just really been enjoying them. So let's get into this bag of tricks here and I'll show you what I picked up. So I did get a new palette. Now this one I don't think is new. I don't think, but I do want to try it out. It's the 9V. So it just looked really pretty and it was on sale for $9 for this palette. I did pick up another one of their blush trios because I absolutely loved the other one that I have. It's this shade here, which I picked this up because I just didn't have these shades in my collection. So very pretty. So anyway, I got those. I got this here. It's their new eyeliners and it's double-ended. So one side, it looks like it has like a glittery formula to it. And the other side is just matte. But it's supposed to be super long lasting. And you know me with my eyeliners. And let me just grab the rest here. And then I picked up a, what is this? I did pick up their bronzer, the stick bronzer here. I did like the other one in the trio. I don't know if this is supposed to be a bronzer or a blush. I mentioned that in the video because it sure looks like bronzer to me. So that's what I've been using it for. But I did pick up their bronzer and I also picked up a concealer. And I'll get into that in just a minute. But let's get going on this. And I do want to tell you what I have on as sunscreen. I tried it out. My daughter-in-law placed a little bit of a tester in here for me to try. And this one is the Super Goop. That's what it is. And it's supposed to be, well, the e.l.f. is supposed to be a dupe to this. Now, I will say the e.l.f. one is a little bit more glittery. This one definitely has that, I don't know. It's a very, very fine glitter. It doesn't look like chunks or anything, but there's just that glow behind it. And you can tell there is something in there to do that. So anyway, that does give the same vibe. Now, the only difference between that one and the e.l.f. one to me is this one feels a little bit more hydrating than the e.l.f. one. So I think for here, for Arizona, I probably would prefer that one, the Super Goop. And the e.l.f. one, if you live in more, if you're humidity, like in Michigan, we had a lot of humidity. So that the e.l.f. one really came in handy. So just so you know the difference between the two now that I've tried both. Okay, let's get into this eye look. And I do have a few things of why I was absent again. Yeah, I just keep disappearing now and then. Well, first of all, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, maybe because I am disappearing so much. My views have really just tanked. I mean, it's, and when that happens, it is a little unmotivating to tell you the truth. And I don't know, it's, I've always had a hard time with content of what to, put out there. I can only buy so much makeup. I hardly get any PR whatsoever, very few things, not enough to do videos weekly. So I have to purchase all of my own makeup and, there really hasn't been, if you ask me, many launches. So I'm limited on that. There's not a lot of new things, and even if there was, that becomes quite expensive. Okay, so the palette again that we're going to be using is called 9V. It's called a vintage rose. I've just been really enjoying the pinks, and you know, as long as my eyes are going to allow it, I'm going to continue using them. So yeah, I saw this and I thought it was such a beautiful palette because it's more of my tones. You know, it's not a bright pink whatsoever. It's more mauve. So that's why I thought this would be just perfect in my collection, because I did declutter a lot of my pink palettes because again, they just bothered my eyes. Okay, so my absence. Okay, now it does come with a mirror. I never use the mirror in these things because I can't see. So I have to use like my magnifying mirror. So the reason for my absence, well, let's decide what we're going to do here. Let's start with, oh, there's so many beautiful shades. But let's start with this one right here and place that in the crease. Okay. So I have been actively looking. I know I'm just, you know, still staring at this palette because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Okay. So we're going to go into that shade. So I have been actively looking for a job. Kind of. Let me say that because I still was working for my other office in Oh boy, look at how pigmented. Okay, with the lighting and with this, it just looked so much more lighter than that. So let me just tap a little bit off that brush. Woo, but it's beautiful. Okay, so yeah, I kind of was looking, but I wasn't because I was still helping out the office in Michigan. If you guys, you know, have been here for a while, if you haven't, I was working at a dental office as a manager in Michigan, and my boss became very ill and with cancer. And yeah, it's a very bad active cancer. He had it under control for a while. It's just something I have to tell you guys about a little bit as well. Let's try this shade here and just place a little bit on this brush. So, yeah, I moved and he was still practicing and doing okay. But when I moved, the cancer came back pretty bad, and he ended up having to have the tumor removed. The tumor came back anaplastic, which is the worst kind of cancer that you can get. And yeah, it's just very really bad. I'm gonna go into this shade here, and so far I will tell you this formula is amazing. You know what? I never had a trouble with many of their palettes. Actually, I had one of their palettes for the longest time, and it was one of my favorites. It just one of those big ones. I just get too overwhelmed. There's nowhere to put them, and that's what they seem to have made. You know, those big, you know, palettes, artistry palettes. This is really pretty, and yeah, I just could never get into those. Let's go into let's try most of these shades here. You know me, I just like to get a feel of what all of the shades look like. So anyway, I was working for him, and he ended up getting the surgery, and just yeah, just things aren't looking great for him. So he sold the practice. Thank God he sold that product practice. He had been trying even when I was there to sell it. He just wanted out. He didn't want that responsibility, which I do not blame him whatsoever. So he ended up selling it. So I needed to find a job. I'm going to go there. I needed to find a job because I would no longer be on, you know, helping them out. And the new guy, he's going to go his own way and, you know, all that. So I ended up getting a job. I went in for an interview. We hit it off pretty good, and it's a woman doctor. I've never worked for a woman doctor, and so it's going to be really fun and interesting. So I am really excited. The girls seem pretty nice, and I've only been there for a week. So this is what the eye look is looking like, and I know once it's done, it's going to look absolutely beautiful. But Yeah, I will say I really like the formula. Okay, let's go into the what shimmers we're going to use. I think I'm going to stay away from this darker one, but I will swatch it for you. This is more like a satin feel to it, but ooh, that is really pretty though. There is like a hint of a rose gold to that, so it's really, really pretty. But I want to stay a little bit lighter just because of what I'm wearing. And let's go to this one here first and just see. Ooh, this is going to be gorgeous. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, so I got a job. So I've just been very busy. It's a different schedule than what I had in Michigan. In Michigan, I usually had Wednesdays off. Here, I'm working. Ooh, look at how pretty that is. I am working Monday through Thursday. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Okay, I have to get into this shade here just to see what that looks like. Okay, now this one's just very soft and it looks like there's glitters, but it's one of those formulas I think that turns more into a matte so you can use it a little bit both ways. Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's a little bit of sparkle to it. There was something kind of like that in Tati's formula. So yeah, as you can see, it almost turns into a more matte. So yeah, I really do like it though. It'd be great as a transition shade. So yeah, that's really pretty, but I'm going to go into this one instead and just place that. Ooh, I placed a lot here in the inner corner, and I'm just going to sweep it a little bit into that other shade. But this is super pretty. What do you guys think? Oh, I love these. Both of these shimmers are really pretty, but I will say out of the shimmers, I think this one is my favorite. So I'm going to do the other eye. I'll come back and then we're going to try some of these other products. Okay, so this is where we are with the eye look. It looks a little sloppy right now, but I do clean it up, but I can tell I'm really going to like it once I have all the other makeup applied. Okay, I did swatch these for you. So there are 5 mattes for sure, and they're absolutely beautiful. I love the formula. They're super creamy. Yeah, just really nice and pretty pigmented as you guys can see. And this one again is questionable. It could go both ways. There's just a little bit of sparkle in it. And then for sure there are 3 shimmers. So, and these are absolutely beautiful. So that is the palette. A very, very nice palette. So yeah, again, you know, Morphe is with a lot of people. Let me know what you guys think if you have tried any of their new products, because if you haven't, I will say a contraire bonjour because you need to try it again. It's really, really nice. Okay, so like I said, I did pick up a new eyeliner. This says it's a bi liner, so they're really going into having multi shades, formulas, which I like in one product. So this one, it says a dual-ended gel pencil. Wand is this one here, and the shimmer is Need. How cute is that? Okay, so let's swatch these really quick, and I'm going to see how long lasting these are, because I thought I read somewhere that they're supposed to be really long lasting as well. I'm going to try both ends. I'm going to line my lid here with I guess it would be the Want. So that's the matte shade here. Ooh, that eye shadow is so pretty, especially that, I don't know, it kind of shifts a shade, that shimmer. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, well, this glides on effortlessly. It's just very creamy and very easy to work with. So I'm just going to create a very small wing here. And yeah, super easy to work with. Okay, so let's clean up the mess and make this look a little bit more presentable. But yeah, I'm really super happy I bought that pencil because I was debating against that purchase there. So what did you guys do for Memorial Day? We actually, so Memorial Day was on Monday. Sunday, we went out on the kayaks again to Mount Pleasant. It was absolutely a beautiful day, sunny, and we had just a blast. We were a little nervous because, the waters can become, really, really busy on a holiday, but they were really not too bad. But yeah, we had so much fun. And, it's a nice thing that we all love doing together. Now, on Memorial Day itself, we went over to Amanda's house. They have a beautiful pool home, and she cooked the best meal as usual and just had a really nice time. And then I started my new job on Tuesday. Okay, for my pores, I'm going to be using this, the one size. And the reason why I'm doing it is because a lot of these products remind me of one size. I think they use that as like their, I don't know, inspiration, but yeah, I just get that vibe. And I will say I used this the other day and it really does a great job at controlling my oils, especially through the T-zone. And it fills in my pores really good. As you can see, it looks more matte through this area and my pores just look a little bit smaller. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that. Okay, now for the complexion, I have mentioned in the past, I do not like their foundations. I think there's like two different ones I've tried, and every time I just can't find the right shade. It's either too yellow, too light. I just have the hardest time. So, as you guys know, I love that. What is it? The Maxine Revenge and the concealer here. So let me try to find it. This here, the French face, and so I go, well, maybe I can use their concealer as my all over complexion. So I picked up this. It's called Wake Up Artist, and it's a under eye corrector concealer. And I got the shade. It looks like a buff 4. Is that 4C? So it looks like this. So we're going to try to do the whole face and concealer. A lot of people do this. So we're going to see, because I felt like this was a decent shade match. It did not look too yellow. Yeah, as you can see, this is definitely a neutral shade. So I'm just going to place it right here first, and I'm going to blend this out last, because I've been doing that around, under my eyes, and it just seems to work out a little better. So what I'm going to do is, just like the Maxine Revenge, I'm just going to place it here and here, because concealers are just a little bit thicker and I don't want to look too cakey. So let's try it. And to give it a little bit more give, to move around just a little bit easier, I'm going to grab this here, the Timeless Hairspray, and spray that all over. And I do that a lot anyway, just to add a little bit more hydration to my face. So actually this is a little, yeah, it's a little bit too light, but not horrible. And I think I can really work with this and, darken it up with their bronzer. It seems to be moving really easy. I'm going to go back to that in just a minute. And it's not super thick, or doesn't seem like it's going to be cakey. You know what? This looks really good all over the face. Yeah, it does not look cakey whatsoever. Again, just like with the Maxine French face concealer, I think you could go overboard very quickly. So I would move, in increments there. Okay, so now that that has been sitting under the eyes for a minute, let's go in and blend this and see what it looks like under the eyes. Ooh, this is really nice. Now, if you have dry skin, this is going to be really nice. Now, oily skin, I think it's going to work because it's not super heavy or creamy to where I think it's going to cause an issue. Especially under the eyes. I think this is going to work for all skin types, to tell you the truth. What do you guys think? It gives just enough coverage. It's not over the top. Yeah. I'm glad I did this because I really like it. Okay, so let's try this here, their bronzing stick. So like I mentioned, I absolutely love this. This is called Cheek Thrills. Again, it just says multi-finish face a trio. So I really love this one, and it's in Sunset Swim. So as you can see, you definitely could use that as a bronzer, and maybe that's what it is intended for, but I don't know. It was over with the blushes. Anyway, let's get into this. So this one is in Flicker. This is the lightest shade that they had because when I went up the shade higher, it just seemed like it was a little bit too orange for me. So this is how much product you get. So not too shabby. And let's see if we can darken up the skin. And yeah, this one just seemed more of a cool toned bronzer. So I'm just going to place this every place that I normally would. And let's see how easy it blends out. Now, if it blends out like this one, super easy, this is going to be great as well. I actually prefer a stick bronzer. It's just easier for application. But right now I am liking the shade a lot. I'm glad I didn't go with the next one up. I think it could have been too dark. Telling you, Morphe is, like I said, totally redeeming themselves. And yeah, I think, I don't know. I think people just really have that bad taste in their mouth, with all their collabs, and it was just over the top. It was like, I don't know. I got the same way. I kind of avoided them at all costs for the longest time. So yeah, this blends out really nice. As you can see how fast that does. It's just very creamy. Now, again, I don't know how long wearing these this is all going to be, but if it is, something that lasts pretty good throughout the day, I'm just going to be thrilled. Okay, I am super excited to get into this here. I love their little blush trios because I had the one size. I ended up decluttering it because I don't know. I honestly did not like the formula. I thought it was way too intense. And these seem to be so blendable. And even if it goes on looking super intense, you can just really blend them out. So I'm hoping so with this shade as well. Now this is the shade Prez Ski or something like that. Anyway, this is the shade here. So you get 3. If you haven't seen these in action before, this one, and it has like a little flip just like the one size. This one's a cream blush. This is more like a highlight, and it's more of a balm formula. And this is powder. So let's start with this one here. After playing around, I did see that is the way to go. So I just placed this under, and you're going to see, I mean, you could really just wear this on its own. I mean, oh, do you see how beautiful that is? Yeah, this formula in the one size, using that one shade that they had that was kind of similar to that, it just was so intense. It looked almost ridiculous, and I couldn't get it to look okay on my skin. So, love that. So I'm just going to clean off my brush just slightly, and let's go into that shade. Oh, that looks so pretty. So I'm just being very delicate because I don't want to go too overboard. Ooh, that is so beautiful. I'm so glad I got this shade. I thought I was over this shade, this really intense pink, but no, I'm not. So this is just the cream blush and balm right here. I am going to place a little bit of the powder once I apply a little bit of powder, but absolutely gorgeous. Love this shade. And if you are still here watching the video, and if you are, thank you so much. And you're going to be in, you can get in this giveaway. I actually accidentally picked up 2 of the blushes here. So if you really want this blush, as you can see how beautiful it is, I will have all the information, of course, down in the description box. And yeah, you just follow it to a T. You have to really follow it, because if not, then you can't be in the giveaway. So I'll have all the directions, all that down there. And yeah, I'm super excited to be giving one of you this blush because it's really amazing. You will love it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I have this here. I purchased this a while ago, and it also came with I think, yeah, a pink one too, a pink powder. So this is just like a travel size, but it's their mini bake set. So it's just a loose powder. I like doing this a lot when I do my powders. I like a loose powder around my T-zone, and then I use a different powder around everywhere else. So I'm going to place quite a bit right here. And it just, I feel when I do this, it really, my makeup stays on a heck of a lot longer throughout the day and keeps my oils, pretty controlled. And it really does smooth out my pores. So as you can tell the difference here, see how it just really smooth things down. Yeah, I do this all the time anymore with my loose powders. Now, I will say with this loose powder here, it's not my favorite. I will tell you that it does look a little bit powdery on my skin, especially like around my nostrils here. You can see the powder, and a lot of my other powders doesn't do that, but it is very smoothing. And I will tell you, under my eyes, there's hardly any creasing whatsoever. So I'm just going to take whatever's left on my poof and just put it in the inner corner because that's where I get most of my creasing there. So yeah, as you can see, it does smooth it pretty good. It's just, like I said, just a little bit more powdery looking than my other ones. But yeah, it's not bad. I will say that. Okay, and to set the rest of my face, I have been loving this here. I have been bragging about this on my channel ever since I returned back when I was absent for like a couple months. And this is called the Cloud Light, and this is the Soft Glow Veil. And I got mine in the shade Sunrise. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It just really keeps your glow if you want one. Now, if you don't like glowy skin, you wouldn't like this one, but I love glowy skin. So for me, it just is beautiful. It's very, I've said it before, it's very similar to the Laura Geller, her glow one, only just softer. Okay, so while I was off camera, I did apply my mascara because I don't have anything by Morphe. And what I used was my CoverGirl Cleantopia. Love this mascara. It really does an amazing job. One of my favorites. Okay, so let's go back into this beautiful blush palette here. And now I'm going to use the powder. And I'm not going to go too crazy because I feel like I do have a lot of blush on, but it is such a beautiful shade. And I'm going to apply just a little bit in my eyeshadow. I do this all the time. I just feel like it really just brings all the shades together and make it look like it's really cohesive. So, oh, I love this. Isn't it just beautiful? Like I said, you just can't really go overboard with this if you're light-handed and yeah, just, I don't know. I love these little trios, as you can see. Okay, so I am going to go into the powder, what is this, a bronzer, and just apply just a little bit because I do just want a little bit more color on the forehead. And that way you guys can get a look at that in action again as well. And yeah, as you can see, it just added just a little bit more color, which I needed. Okay, let's go back into this beautiful palette. Love this. Oh no, you know what I want to do is use this end here and just apply a little bit on the lower lash line and see what that, ooh, that is super, super pretty. Hopefully you guys can see how glittery that is. Oh, it's gorgeous. You could really actually probably take this and apply it and smear it out and use it like as an eyeshadow. It is that gorgeous. But I am going to also go into the palette here and just grab, I think this shade here. That's more like a plummy, a mauve shade. And just put a little bit on a pointed brush. Just like that. Yeah, that looks really pretty. Okay, and then I'm also going to take this beautiful, bright Snow White with just like a little bit of pink flick to it. And place that again just in the inner corner and just really brighten that area up. Oh, yeah, these shimmers, I mean, this is like what were in those really big artistry palettes that they used to have. Just very, what is the word I'm looking for? Just so many different shifts, and yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I didn't pick up anything in their lip line either. I just I just didn't, but I did grab this because I've been wanting to try this one. It's by Maybelline. I love their lip products, and this is called the Glaze. And so this is the packaging here, and it kind of reminds me of their Lifter line. And this is in the shade 007 Berry Haze. So I just really wanted to try this formula out. So hopefully the shade will go with this look. Okay, so it's more like a balm feel. Ooh, and there's a scent and almost like is there a minty feel? Or is that the scent I'm picking out? But the more I'm applying, as you can see, the more intense the shade is getting. But I really love how this feels on the lips. It's just very creamy and cushiony and comfortable. I love it. I probably would like a brighter shade with this look, but I'm going to take it right now because I really do. I love this formula. Okay, so this is the final look. I absolutely love how everything turned out. I am super happy with these purchases. I'm super happy with this palette. Again, I needed these shades in my collection, and for $9, these are wonderful. I mean, super pretty. I love like the plum and more mauve tone. So yeah, super happy with this purchase. I absolutely love this blush, a trio. It is super fun and it's not too bright and out of control. And again, you can wear this shade on its own. It's just super pretty and soft. And yeah, love it. And don't forget to get yours in the giveaway. So make sure to check out the description box. And everything else I pretty much knew I loved. I will let you guys know how this holds up, the bronzer as of right now. I love the shade. I love that it was super creamy and blended out super easy. And honestly, you guys, I'm looking at my skin and using the concealer as my foundation. I think we're onto something, or a lot of people are onto something because I've been seeing that a lot, especially over on, where, Schmidt Schmack. But yeah, it looks really good. Again, just be very careful. You could go overboard really quickly, but as you can see, it's looking really good. And I'll let you guys know in the description or somewhere around here how it held up, how this held up. I know that the blushes hold up beautifully because I've used this shade before. I'm super, super impressed with these liners. I do want to see how long wearing or if it's waterproof or anything like that. But first, let's just see if it smudges. Okay. And that's even the shimmer one too. That did not budge. Okay, this is just water. And I'm going to spray that, hopefully pretty good. So as you can see, it's pretty wet. And let's see. You guys, look at, I don't think it said that on the packaging. Well, now you know it's smudge proof and it's waterproof. Let me see, take a makeup wipe. No, it's still there. Okay. Amazing. I am going back to get more. I think they were only $12 and they had so many different shades. They had, a super intense black that was with I think it was mixed with maybe silver or white. They had blues, pinks and purples. So I am definitely going to go back and check those out. And everything else, another lucky day with trying out products. Now, the only thing that I don't care for, and it really wasn't new, is this one. This just doesn't look that great on my skin. Once I applied a little bit of, I actually went back over my face with this. I've been doing this a lot. It just melts and locks everything into place. So once I did that, it really smoothed things out. It doesn't look as powdery, but This is probably just my least favorite, but you guys know how much I love this. I love that new lip product. So another successful day. Again, check out the description box for the directions for the giveaway. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please like the video. It really helps me out. Don't be afraid to share it with somebody you think might enjoy seeing this and the new Morphe products in action. And yeah, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would love to see you again. I can't wait to see you guys again. I love you so much. And until next time.